Hi everyone, welcome to my May 2025 plan with me. As I'm currently going through my backlog of footage, this video may not be relevant to the current month, but I figured why not post this to put my ideas out there and potentially inspire some creativity for whoever is watching. For the month of May, I was inspired to make a yellow daffodil theme based on the flowers that bloomed in my front yard. The color of these daffodils were just so beautiful and so vibrant, I really wanted to incorporate them in my journal somehow. Plus, I don't think I've ever done a theme with the color yellow, so it's just perfect and I really liked how it turned out. I'm starting off with doing the line art of the drawings I sketched beforehand for my cover page with a brown fineliner. I'm using the Staedler fineliner, which has a nice brown color to soften the look of the line art, but I do wish I had a thinner nib to enhance some of the details. I'm drawing some large daffodils at different angles as well as my little buddy. Let me introduce you to Toof the Squish. Toof has big, round, or square glasses. He chooses which pair to wear depending on his mood. They help him see, especially when he's reading his favorite books. He loves playing outside and being silly with his friends. I really tried to incorporate Toof's silly personality in the different poses I drew him in throughout the spread. I drew one little Toof hanging from one of the petals on the right side and another peeking out from one of the flowers on the left. I was really trying to have fun with all the different poses and trying to bring out the silliness in Toof. On the left page, I decided to do my calendar to fill in the page and a few more doodles beneath it to complete the spread. But as I'm doing the line art for this part, it's hard to see from this camera angle, so I'll zoom in so you can see better in a second. Now that it's zoomed in, you can really see how the fineliner looks. I personally would have liked to use a thinner nib, especially for the smaller doodles like these. If you have any recommendations for thin brown fineliners, please let me know down in the comments. I know there's some for pigment microns, but I haven't been able to get my hands on them, so I'd love to hear any recommendations you might have. Here you can see Toof being a little silly and playing among the daffodils. It kinda looks like he's sticking his tongue out at you. So cute. I also drew one of him laying down upside down and hanging down from the calendar, which was a fun interaction. Now that the line art is done, it's time to color in the drawing. I chose a really pretty blue or periwinkle color for Toof, while adding a little bit of blush to his cheeks to enhance his playful nature. I'm coloring in all the little Toofs before I move on to the flowers, while adding a bit of shadow to enhance his shape. Next, I'm using a really vibrant yellow for the daffodils and some bright green markers for the leaves and stems. I love the combination of the periwinkle with the yellow. It just pairs together so well, and I really love how vibrant the yellow looks. With a darker shade of yellow, I'm just enhancing some of the finer details of the flowers. I don't know if it's just me, but I find it so satisfying to watch the drawing being filled in after the line art. It might be my favorite part when working on a drawing, apart from the line art itself. What do you guys think? Let me know if you prefer doing the line art of a drawing or coloring it in. For the stems of the flowers, I decided to go in with a lighter shade of green and followed with a darker shade for the leaves to add some shadows and depth. Next, I'm adding the titles to the pages using a light yellow Tombow brush pen and cursive writing. I added a gradient to the lettering with a brighter yellow and outlined the titles with the same brown fineliner. For the calendar, I'm alternating between yellow and a periwinkle for each row. I can't forget to color in the little doodles at the bottom, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. To fill in some of the blank spaces and make the spread look a little fuller, I added a grid pattern with a lighter shade of periwinkle to balance out the yellow. This theme is more drawing heavy than the themes I've done in my journal beforehand, and I found it really relaxing and therapeutic to do the liner and coloring it in. I didn't find it necessary to add any other stationery or ephemera to the page. Lastly, to make the drawing stand out more, I used a white gel pen to add some more details and highlights. It's not too noticeable on camera, but I find it as a nice final touch. And that's it for my cover page. Moving on to the next spread, which is my habit tracker and mood tracker, I'm again starting off with the line art. I think this is the most fun I've had with sketching out and creating a mood tracker, which you'll get to see soon as it zooms out in a bit. I decided to draw out different poses and silhouettes of Toof for my mood tracker, which I filled in throughout the month with different faces for Toof. I had so much fun with this spread, and I was just feeling really creative with the different poses and stances for Toof. Since I'm posting this video so late, the spread is already filled in and it looks so cute and playful. Maybe I'll post an updated and filled in version of it. I even included a little cameo of the previous character I drew for my April theme, Bloop the Poof. If you've seen her on my Instagram post, you may recognize her somewhere on this spread. For the habit tracker, I made it really simple with empty calendars so that it doesn't clash with the very busy mood tracker on the right page. Moving on to the right page and finishing up the liner, you'll start to see the different poses and silhouettes for Toof as he plays amongst the daffodils. I added a legend at the top of the mood tracker for the different expressions Toof will have corresponding to my moods throughout the month. This mood tracker is turning out so cute. I think my favorite pose for Toof on this spread would have to be either him laying upside down on his head or sitting nestled within the bulb of the daffodil. I can't forget to add little Toof's glasses here and there to differentiate him from his friends, so I'm doing that now. I'm doing the same style of lettering and gradient for the titles and doing the outlines for them. Alternating between periwinkle and yellow, I'm adding some highlights for each of the habits I aim to track and writing them out. Next, for the decorative daffodil drawings that aren't part of the mood tracker, I'm coloring them in with the same shades of yellow and green. And finally, I'm adding the same grid pattern to fill in the empty spaces. I accidentally used the wrong marker because I couldn't remember which one I had used previously, so the grid looks much darker, but that's okay. And that's it for my May 2025 plan with me. These two spreads are the only ones I care to make for my journal since I use it mostly for memory keeping rather than planning. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe discovered some ideas you'd like to use for your own journals and setups. Thank you so much for watching, I appreciate you, and have an amazing day or night. Bye!